Hey guys, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Say hi as you come in. Gonna start in a few. I just want to thank you guys for coming in for Emotion Monday. Can't wait to get started on our topic. So let the healing begin. So, how are you guys tonight? Speak to me as you come in. Speak to me as you come in. I'm sorry I didn't have a blog tonight. I just wanted to not that I don't let God speak, but it's purely just God speaking on tonight about something that had just been on my heart. Something that God has been, dealing with me with. We're going to be talking about this word that everybody uses, or a lot of people uses. We're going to talk about the shift. The shift. How many of you guys have heard, the shift so much in this season? We've heard shift this and shift that, and we've heard so much about shifting, and we have to know, if you're in God and whatever, you have to know something is going on. You may not feel it around the world, but you probably are feeling it in your own life, and that's what I want to address. We're talking about the shift. Shifting. Are you ready to shift? Shifting to destiny. That's pretty much what I'm trying to drive home. Shifting into destiny. How many of you guys even know that you're shifting into destiny? Stuff may be falling down all around you, falling apart. It seems like it's falling apart. Doesn't this sound familiar? It's one particular person, in the Bible, that felt like the world was just falling and crumbling all around them. Can y'all guess who it is? I'm talking about Job. I'm talking about Brother Job. All right. I kind of wanted to tie in my own story or my own testimony around it. I had been missing for a week, going by God's instructions. He told me to not post a video, do anything this week. He wanted me to just sit here and listen. Sometimes we need those moments where we just have to sit still and listen to what God wants to tell us. He wants sometimes just to not give us anything to tell people necessarily all the time, but sometimes he just wants your undivided attention. He wants to make sense, give language to why you're going through what you're going through. You could be going through something, and I believe if you just sit a while, he'll start to just, piece it out for you and explain, why you're going through what you're going through. So like I said, you guys could jump in, and also just let you guys know how the Emotion Mondays go. I do record for the podcast, which you can get on various platforms. Apple, Podbean is my hosting site, Pandora, Amazon Music. I just want the message and upliftment and encouragement to be heard. All right. Just wanted to say that disclaimer. So let me just start with my experience this week. As maybe some of you know, and a lot of you may not know, I am an animal lover. I have been a dog owner for over 10 years, a little over 10 years. I've had my dogs since they were puppies, since they were little. So they were both boxers, and the first one, she passed maybe 2 years ago. I had to put her down, and then the recent one, my last male dog, I had to put him down last week. So I'm just saying all of this because that was a shift in my life. And I know a lot of people, may not understand animal lovers, we treat, if anybody are dog lovers out there, we treat our animals, our dogs, like they are our children. I have a cat as well, but it's different. Cats and dogs are different. Cats do whatever they want to do, very low maintenance, but my dogs were my babies. They were my life for a minute. They were my excuse for not going on vacation, for uh not going vacation, doing certain things. They were an excuse, and that's important and key why I'm saying that. They gave a sort of comfort for me in certain times, and and they served as therapy. I kind of struggled with what I wanted to talk about during this live, because at first I was going to call this live, or when I wanted to talk about it initially, was my therapist had fur. That's initially what I wanted to entitle it. My therapist had fur. But God said, don't you post that. Don't you talk. No, let me finish talking to you. Let me tell you what all this about. Let me tell you what feelings are tied into, the loss of your animals, this big thing. And it's just not about just being animals. It was about a lifestyle that I had. I had a routine. There was a time that I got up, with the dogs and walked them and took them outside, and it was routine. That was my life. And they came at a time where, I was married at the time, but then when I divorced, they were still young, and they became my therapy. I can honestly say, if I did not have, my dogs, that I don't know where my mind would be. They gave me purpose in that moment that I needed them. They, allowed me to have something to do, something to get up in the morning for, and they brought me that comfort and that therapy. And I solely believe that's why, you guys maybe heard of it before, how there are therapy animals. There are people that, that are animals that just help just with emotional health. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. I have, but I didn't know how much in the time that I needed them. So as I grew and went through healing and everything, I knew it was coming. They, of course, they're older. They live shorter. So that there's time to go. But I knew, and it was so funny. I was sitting one time in the living room, and God was like, I'm about to take them. And I was like, no. So I was already kind of grieving them, already. I knew God was going to take them. But let me tell you guys what it symbolized for me. I knew once my last dog had passed, now God was going to start shifting in my life. Like, that was the shift. He shifted those things that I hung on to. Hello, whoever's coming in. Hello. He started to shift my life. So I'm talking about my animals, but I'm talking about the shift. I'm talking about what God has to use to shift your life. My thing was animals, that was my lifestyle, but yours could be something else. What did God have to shift in your life to get you to move? What did God have to, just shake up for you to take that step out, to take a leap of faith? Did he have to shift you from a job? Did he have to, some of us may have grown kids and then they move out. So now it's like, okay, God, now what? That was my life. That was my responsibilities at the time. So I want to talk about this because I believe in this season, God is doing a lot of shaking in a lot of our lives. Anybody is a witness to that? You feel a shaking in your life, and it's for a reason. I believe this shaking is for destiny. It's things that can't come with you. There are things that you can't take with you. And I made I reposted. Let me see if I can find it. On here, a status about I wrote it maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. Let me see if I can find it. And I wrote about the shifting because I didn't know what to call this, this live. So I'm gonna tell y'all what it says. It says, who likes to pick up all of their stuff and move from a place of comfort to a place that you never seen or visited? No one. This is how God shifts you from present to destiny. He never moves you according to how you feel or what you want, but because it is required. Are you ready for the shift to destiny? And I believe, like I'm using Job as a reference. That's what happened to Job. I believe, even though we, some of us may know the story, devil came to God, hey, I promise you, if I get this one, he's not going, praise you anymore. He's not going to be that good, whatever anymore. But all along, God already had a plan to shift Job. He had a plan all along. The devil thought he was doing something, whatever. This was in my will to do that anyway. I'm just using you. You just don't know that I'm using you, devil. I'm using you to shift Job. It's something that I want to do in Job, and there's things that I have to remove and then, put back in his life for whatever reason. He had to temporarily remove some stuff in order for him to get to a place in God. And I believe that's happening for a lot of us. Sometimes we want to curse what God takes away. We want to curse what God shifts. And, the definition of a shift is a slight change in position, direction, a slight change. So when God makes a slight change, it feels like a major change to us, but it's slight. So if you guys just think about that, a slight change, that it feels like our world is crumbling down. It's a light work to God to shake us a little bit, to do what he wants us to do. So my thing is, like I said, my dogs were my therapy, and now that they're not here, now I knew. See, my thing was, God, now he's like, now let's go to work. Now I have the freedom to actually be mobile, to move, to actually go places. I can't have the excuse that, oh, I got to feed my dogs and I got to take it. I don't have that excuse anymore. So now that I had come to this healed place, their assignment was completed. How many of you guys are holding on to something that was only for a season in order for you to complete assignment? You want to hold on to it out of comfortability, out of just being common with it, hello to anyone that's coming in. Hello. So, I just wanted to talk about that and really just have everyone in the mindset of what God is doing in this season. You can't curse the shift and not go to God and just ask how to handle it. How do you handle it? How are you handling your shift? If anyone wanted to just comment, I know I'm not the only one being shaken up. How are you guys handling your shift? And we use that word so commonly, especially in church, where we're just like, yay for the shift. Oh, God, you're moving. But really, it's a good thing because he's God, and whatever God does is good. But if we really just think about it, because we can't tell God what to move in our life. He moves what he sees fit. So whatever we may think is good for us may not be good for our destiny. He has to move it. He has to shake it. And what we do to make it worse for ourselves is we try to hold on to it. So, what came to me And Job, in the part where it's a poetic, book, he just speaks about his suffering in an eloquent manner, but he's suffering. And he says, well, for what is it? Like, the thing that I feared the most came upon me. So, this is after, just his whole family was gone, like everything was gone. God and took everything away. And if we would admit it, when God does something in our lives, it does feel like God, like Job was feeling like something was happening. Like, he knew, like, this is too good to be true. Like, something's gonna happen, and then when it did happen, oh my goodness, what I feared has happened. So how many of us has been there? Like, God, I don't know what you're going to do if you take this. And I don't know what you're going to do when you do this. How many of you have been there? Like, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do if this happens. And it's like you feel that looming, going on. So, but the thing was, this was in the best interest for Job. So, has anybody been there? I know I'm not the only one, y'all. Y'all kind of a little quiet, maybe sleepy, hungry. I know I'm hungry. But I just want us to get into that mindset, that adoption. Like, I'm all about trying to look for the positive in things. Trying to see, my thing is, if things aren't going right in my life, I try to ask God, okay, what is the purpose in this? What are you trying to do? Because nothing happens in our lives without God allowing it. Do we understand that? And we see it in Job. Nothing happens in our lives without God allowing it. So in that allowance, we have to ask God, okay, prepare me for what you're going to do. Because I feel like, like I said, in this season, without, being a caregiver, to the animals that require so much of my time and, just responsibility. Okay, God, what are you going to add? Where are you going to send me? What am I going to do? As far as, like, I know you're making room for something. So a lot of times when God is shifting, he's making room. He's making room for something. We can rejoice in that, and not try to hold on to so much, of what he's taken away. So, I really didn't have, if you guys wanted to just add on to the conversation, like I said, I didn't do a blog. Usually that's what I do my outline, but I just kind of just wanted to let, God speak, on this line. Yep. Even in all the job law, even in the loss of Job, never turned away from God. Exactly. So, even all of this loss, the best thing is to don't turn away from God. If you are experiencing some shaking in your life, the best, if you are with God, stay with him. Like I said, ask him. That's the best thing to do. Ask him. Ask him what he's doing. God, what are you doing? And the thing is, Job's friends was something else. Job's friends was something else. You would have thought they would, help him with the change. You would think they would help him with the shift. That's why you need friends that are kingdom, I was teaching on the kingdom, but that's true. You need friends that are kingdom minded. You need friends that are familiar with how God moves, that will encourage you to stay strong in the move. And while he's doing all this shaking, you need those people that will tell you, hey, be patient. Wait till you hear from God. Don't make any sudden moves, until you hear from God. You need those friends, not the ones that's going to encourage you and just have you in your mind thinking, you did something wrong, or you provoked God's hand, or you must have did something because Ain't no way you're going to be going through all of this. And you know what I mean? Just making you feel worse. You don't need them people around. The transformation that God is bringing to you, they should be able to discern the movement of God. All right. So I also wanted to read this. I ran across a commentary, on that had entailed the verse that I read to you guys from Job. Job was like a man who had lost his way and had no prospect of escape or hope of better times. Like he was basically like, Lord, take me now. Lord, take me now. Like it ain't no reason to live anymore. You have shifted so hard that now it feels like I don't have no reason to live. How many have been there where it just seems like God has done such a big movement in your life and you're like, this not even making any sense. I might as well just like, why am I here? And so, but surely he was an ill frame for death when so unwilling to live. Let it be our constant care to get ready for another world. Here we go, y'all. And then leave it to God to order our removal thither as he thinks fit. Job was being shifted into another realm, into another, world. And leave it to God to order our removal as he thinks fit. Like, God, whatever I have to shift into destiny, that's a bold prayer to say. That's a bold thing to say, y'all. God, whatever you have to do that will help me move into destiny, go ahead and do it. Do as you see fit. Because I know whatever removal that you do is gone. I know I'm going to another place. So let's look at it like that, you guys. If you're experiencing a lot of shaking and movement in your life, just know that you're getting ready to get moved into your destiny. You're getting ready to move into another dimension in God. Can I say that? You're getting ready to move in another dimension in God. So not just another opportunity, another door, another dimension in God. Isn't that amazing? Because that's what happened to Job. He got all that shifting. He moved into another dimension of God. And I'm pretty sure in hindsight, now he looks, and I'm pretty sure, he misses whatever was taken. But look what all he gained. God gave him double. And I love this because God gave me this revelation. Let me see. In this pandemic, people are like Job. They have lost loved ones, property, and health. Exactly. And that brings me to my point that I was going to make. God literally dropped it in my spirit, and I prayed. Like when I talk to God, see y'all, I talk to God like I'm having a conversation with him, and he talks back. I was sitting there and I'm calculating. I'm like, okay, God, you're taking stuff one by one. I see what you're doing, and I'm looking at the time frame. It would be exact. He told me, I'm gonna tell you clearly what he said. The 20 years that you have lost something, this is like really pretty much where I'm at. I'm at the 20-year mark. My latter 20 years, my early 20 years, I lost a lot. But he told me your next 20 years is where I'm going to add. Kid you not. So y'all know I almost about ran around my house hearing that. I'm like, because I'm thinking in my head, it is about the 20-year mark where I felt like I lost things or I had to give up. I had to sacrifice things. 20 years of going through something, of going through this stripping, spiritually and mentally and, emotionally, this stripping for 20 years, for God to tell me, now you're at the mark where I can add. Your next 20 years is going to be like the last 20 years did not happen. Y'all, learn to trust the will of God and his movements and everything. Absolutely. Because listen, he going to make it better. He going to make it the best. He going to make it, like I said, he told me. And like I said, just kind of just thinking about what I want to speak about tonight. I'm going to say it again, because this is for somebody. Whatever your past years that you've been through, the turmoil that you've been through the last years, the next years ahead, it's going to be like that ain't never happened. Like it never happened. Like you're going to get like a redo in the spirit. I don't know who this is for, but it's like you're going to get a redo in the spirit. Because that's what he told me. And I know I'm not going to be selfish with that word. So I need somebody to take that. Your next year, you might have suffered this amount of time, but your next years that are coming is going to make it seem like the other years was like, hey, that's cool, Jesus. And he's going to add more to it, because I'm just like, okay, God, you kind of, you took away this and you're taking away that. And, I'm seeing light and everything. Like I'm seeing the light and I'm like, God, okay, now I'm seeing you. Now I can track your movements. Now I see what you're doing. And, my thing is I have peace in it, even though it may be uncomfortable for whatever time, for whatever season. It's like, I still have peace. So that's how you know if you're being shifted by God. It's crazy. It may be stuff crazy going on around you, but it's like at the same time, you feel his peace. You feel his peace. All right. So, like I said, I didn't really have too much. I just kind of wanted to give you guys just, as, it was just stated on here. People are like Job. They have lost loved ones, property, and health. But I believe we're in a season that it's going to turn around really quick. Really quick. It's going to turn around. And I think, sometimes when somebody is a deliverer of, a word or a teaching, it has to hit that teacher first. And so me continually opening up my mouth, letting you guys know what God is doing in my life, because all I'm doing is sharing conversations with y'all. I'm just sharing the conversations that I have. It's like a mother and a daughter. I'm sharing the conversations that I have with my father. That's all I'm doing when I'm teaching. Is I'm sharing with you the conversations between me and my father. And then, also, I just want to encourage you guys to trust the will of God. The will of God is good. The will of God, just only adds. It doesn't take away. Trust his will and movements and everything. Everything is not going to be pretty. And that's why it's important to read the Bible, because you see these accounts all through the Bible. We all have to go through something. We all have to have a shaking, because at the end of the day, it's not what we gain from that shaking more so immaterial, but it is the depth that we get in God. That's the most important thing to kind of reiterate. It's the deepness that we get in God. The more he shakes our world up, the deeper we get in him. All right. So I just wanted to add that in there. Like I said, I didn't have too much, and I wanted to get on here and because I haven't been on here in a while, and I just wanted to just talk and chat with you guys for a little bit and just let you guys know, just be things are shifting, and just be okay. Like, don't feel like, oh my God, what is the world coming to? And it's for your good. It's for your good. You, in this season, you want to be as deep as you need to get in God, because of what else is coming and what else God wants to do, especially with how many souls that are going to get saved, and how many people are how much deliverance is going to take place. You want to get as deep as you can. So God, do the shaking. God, do what you have to do to get me to that next realm, to get me to destiny. I want what is destined for my life. I want what you have destined for my life, you know? So that was it, you guys. I really didn't have too much to say. I just wanted to release that word. I hope that it encouraged you. I hope that it empowered you. And since my little 1 week sabbatical is over, you guys will probably see more videos and drops of the podcast. And because I had another subject. Like, listen, y'all, I had a lineup. I was going to talk about the woman at the well. I had a whole thing for that. But no, God wanted me to talk about the shifting to destiny. So whatever shifting is going on in your life is for your destiny. So I thank you guys for coming in. For the podcast listeners, pushing play. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just like, this is my first time doing this. And I'm just like amazed that the viewers that are coming in from different states, are not viewers, the maybe I'm speaking prophetically, but the listeners that are listening in from different states, I appreciate new listeners. And so share, and let me get to my subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find it, the P of Me, or Relinda C. McCoy, Relinda McCoy. Follow me on Instagram, y'all. I don't post a lot of maybe private stuff on, the actual page, but my stories, I might put up some stuff. So let's see. And if you guys, sometimes, I'll see people, may ask me questions later. So if you want, you also can email me at RelindaMcCoy@thepofme.com. And like I said, I didn't put Amazon Music on here, did I? Subscribe to the podcast, follow. And I'm going to tell y'all, I like doing these lives, but I more so like to, it could be the middle of the night, and I will get up and just start speaking or talking on the podcast. So you guys don't want to miss those notifications that says, that there's a new episode or something on. So, it's on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, Podbean. I don't know. I might be missing one, but and if you don't know how to even work any of these platforms, you can go on my website on thepofme.com, and you can directly subscribe and listen from there. So I thank you guys for coming in. Share. I'm pretty sure this word was for somebody. It was so heavy in my spirit. And just remember that if you're experiencing so much shifting in your life, just ask God to see, how he's directing your steps to destiny. All right, guys, you have a good night, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.